It's a few minutes after. All right, great. So we'll start in a seated position. Propping yourself up on any props that help you to have your hips a little bit more elevated than your knees, so that the belly pours slightly forward here and there's no rounding into your lower back, which will over time as we sit cause you to round and sickle into the lower back. Please take your hands to your thighs with your palms facing down and tuck your chin in just ever so slightly. Allow your eyes to settle closed so that you immediately, as you start to practice, and tune into the body, turn out any outside stimuli. Straight away turning your gaze, your focus inwards. Start to follow your breath as it moves in and out of your body. Not yet taking control of it, but just noticing its natural rhythm. Feeling the rise and fall of your chest with the breath. Feeling the lifting of the shoulders with the breath in. And the ease of the sinking of the shoulders with the breath out. And with this internal gaze, start to deepen the breath. Not necessarily taking the longest, deepest, fullest breath possible, but slowly starting to elongate it so that it is a little fuller and a little deeper than your natural breath, but not forced nor exaggerated. And I encourage you throughout our practice today to have your gaze really heavy or completely closed down for this practice. When we practice on our own, often we'll look up towards whatever device we're practicing with for visual cues. But our yin practice especially is more about us feeling into our own bodies, about creating a connection between our physical shapes and our mental thoughts, our emotional body, our energetic, our breath. And we can develop and cultivate and maintain a stronger relationship between our mind, body, and breath by tuning out that one sense that really is very dominant, which is our sense of sight. And by having the eyes closed, the focus shifts to what we feel within our body, the physical shape, and our pranayama, our breath. Each breath is nice and long and full and deep, yet not forced nor exaggerated. And with this internal gaze, our drishti focused inwards, to take the focus, your mind's eye, down into where your sitting bones connect with the prop beneath you. Feel the pelvis heavy. Feel anchored, connected. And from there, start to find lift up out of the crown of the head so that the spine becomes longer, as though you're stretching through the spine, through the vertebrae. The chin stays tucked lightly so that the neck is also an extension of the spine. You might shift the back of your head about an inch further back in space so that the back of your skull, your scapula or shoulder blades, and your sacrum, your tailbone area, are all in a line with one another. And from your anchor, that is that part of you that is connected with the block, your sitting bones, the lift occurs up and out the crown of the head, so that we are connected to the earth, yet feeling spacious and light. Notice if you are flaring into your lower ribs, sticking them forward, crunching slightly into your lower back. See if you can contain the navel, contain those bottom ribs. Broaden the chest by pulling the elbows towards your side waist and the shoulders slightly together on the back body, shoulder blades. Your facial expression is so soft and gentle with your lips slightly parted so there's no tension in your jaw, your tongue heavy in the base of your mouth. And feel the eyeballs settle into their socket. Lick your lips and swallow. And take a really long breath in and hold the breath at the top. And part your lips and sigh the breath out. 2 more like that. Inhaling through the nose, ballooning the breath into the belly, widening it into the ribs. Feeling the chest and the heart space expand at the top of the breath in, holding. And parting your lips, feeling the shoulders ease down away from the ears as you begin to breathe out. A sense of relaxation, of softness coming over the body. The navel pulls in and the weight grounds into your seat, keeping you anchored down. And then an inhale elongates the spine and causes you to take up more space, lifting through the crown of your head, sipping in every little last bit of breath that you can. Pausing at the top, feeling the entire body radiating with energy, with prana, our life force, our breath. And exhaling smoothly and steadily, rhythmically, out through the mouth. Returning to your breath in and out through your nose. Finding a balance between the inhale and the exhale. Finding a steady rhythm to your breath that you're able to maintain consciously and mindfully. And take a longer breath in, sit up tall. As you breathe out, tuck your chin towards your chest. With an inhale, you'll roll your right ear towards your right shoulder. With the next exhale, the chin rolls back towards your chest. Breathing in, the left ear rolls towards the left shoulder. Breathing out, the chin rolls towards your chest. Inhale, right ear rises to the right shoulder. Breathing out, chin rolls towards the chest. Inhale, chin or ear towards left shoulder. Exhale, round the chin towards your chest. 1 more to each side with your own breath. With the breath in, right ear rolls back towards the right shoulder. We'll hold here for 3 breaths. Slide your left hand off of your left thigh. Take it out towards the left at shoulder height. Extend out to your fingertips. Breathe deeply along the entire left side of your neck. 2 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. And again, breathing in, really reach out through your fingertips. Extend up and out through the crown of your head towards the right. Breathe out, hold here. 1 more breath in. Chin to your chest, left hand to your left thigh as you breathe out. Inhaling, left ear towards left shoulder. Right hand slides off the thigh, reaches out towards the right. Extend through the fingertips. Feel the stretch down the right side of your neck, down the arm, through the fingers. 3 breaths here. And 1 more inhale. Stay here for your breath out. And breathe in. Chin towards your chest, right hand towards your right thigh as you breathe out. Inhaling, right ear towards right shoulder. Gingerly start to roll your head back in space. Take the left ear to left shoulder as you breathe out, and chin to the chest at the bottom of the exhale. 2 more neck circles in this direction with the breath. Moving nice and slow. The bottom of your third exhale, the chin will find the chest, and you'll take 3 circles in the opposite direction, inhaling left ear to left shoulder. Gingerly start to take the neck back and around. Right ear comes to right shoulder. Chin slides towards the chest. 2 more. One more round. Chin will come towards the chest as you breathe out. Inhale, draw the head back up through center. We'll take the hands down by our sides. Arms will reach up towards the ceiling. We'll come into a side bend towards the right. So you'll take the right hand down towards the floor. Reach really high up through your right fingertips or left fingertips. Start to stretch that left hand up and over towards the right as you ground into your left sitting bone. Now the gaze is still really heavy, or your eyes are closed so that you're feeling more into this pose. Your focus is on you practicing and feeling in your body, feeling into your body. You're going to press more into your right index finger mound and start to ground deeply through that left sitting bone. From here, we'll take a big breath in, reach the left arm back up towards the ceiling. As you breathe out, reach the arm back and over towards the right. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift the left arm towards the ceiling. Exhale, leaning over, stretching through the left side body. 1 more time, big breath in, that arm reaches high. Breathing out, extend up and over towards the right. Keep pressing into the palm of your right hand. Now listen carefully, we're going to try something a little different here. We're going to inhale to lift the right chest, or left chest towards the ceiling. As you exhale, you're slowly just going to round so that the left chest comes towards your right knee. Just slightly heading in that direction. And we're breathing in, starting to roll the chest back open, lifting the heart towards your ceiling, and then exhaling to close it off. It's as though the left elbow is descending towards the right knee. You're still extending out towards the right through the fingertips. 1 more time, big breath in, open the chest, breathing out, round the chest towards the floor, towards the right. We'll breathe in, start to open the chest back towards the ceiling. Inhale, reach the right arm up, left arm up, right arm goes to follow. And we'll switch sides. So the left arm will come down towards the floor, towards the left. Lift that right arm up nice and high, ground into your right sitting bone. Breathing out, reach the arm up and over towards the left. Keep grounding into your left index finger mound, grounding down through right sitting bone, finding lots of length through that entire right side body, reaching through the right finger. And take a breath in to come out of the pose, taking the right hand back up towards the ceiling. As you breathe out, stretch up and over towards the left. 2 more times with the breath. Big inhale, reach the right fingertips upwards. As you exhale, the hand goes over towards the left. 1 more time. Big inhale, reach high. As you exhale, keep pressing into the left hand, grounding through left sitting bones as you reach the right arm as far as you can towards the left. Breathe in here. As you exhale, begin to roll the chest to face towards your left thigh as though the right elbow is descending towards the right knee. Breathe in, start to roll the chest back forward, lifting the right side of your chest up towards the ceiling. Exhale, keep pressing into your left hand as you start to roll the chest back towards the left thigh. Rounding forward and then breathing in. We have 1 more here, opening the chest, lifting the arm up and back, and exhaling to roll the chest towards the floor, right shoulder towards left knee. We'll breathe in, open the chest once again, and reach that arm towards the ceiling. Left arm follows, palms come together to touch. Slide your hands down towards your chest. Your eyes are closed. Take a long breath in. Breathe out the mouth. Just taking in a little bit of light, fluttering your eyes open, keeping the gaze super soft. We'll come into hands and knees, so you'll move your prop out of the way, taking it so that it's in arm's reach. And take your hips so that they're stacked above, or your knees so that they're stacked above your hips, hands beneath the shoulders. Start to let the belly sink towards the floor. Begin to lift your chest as the crown of the head lifts. Shoulders ease down onto the back, or in cow pose. Tailbone's lifting, crown of head lifting, sternum's lifting. Press into your hands a little more. See if you can lift the crown of your head even higher. And then rather than just letting the belly pour, can you tone the belly by drawing the navel up into the spine despite the front body descending towards the mat? And we'll slowly move into the opposite shape here. So tucking the tailbone, starting to roll into your lower back, doming into the shoulder blades, starting to draw the heart up into the back body. Tuck your chin, let the crown of your head point straight down. Keep pressing into the hands here, rounding into the back. Perhaps the knees smear energetically away from one another to create more space into your lower spine. We'll take 1 more in each shape, so the belly will start to sink towards the floor. Sweep your chest forward and through the gate of your arms. Really press into your hands. Start to lift the chest, lift the crown of your head, tailbone lifts. Knees smear away from one another, creating more space into the lower back. And we'll breathe out, everything rounds. Tuck tailbone, tuck chin, look between your thighs, or eyes are closed, gaze is inward. And come to a neutral spine. We're coming into Anahata Asana, so you'll take your hands a big step forward to the upper corners of your mat and take them slightly more than shoulder distance apart. From here, start to round slightly into your tailbone so that you feel your lower floating ribs start to knit towards the front of your hips, containing into the belly button. Take a breath in, tuck your chin. As you breathe out, start to lower your forehead towards the floor. Think about keeping your hips stacked above your knees. That might mean you need to take your fingertips a little bit further forward. We won't be here for too long. Breathing and getting deeply into the shoulder girdle. Anahata Asana, melting heart pose. So feel the chest opening, the backs of the shoulders opening. And soften into your elbows. Notice if the belly started to pour over time. So you can focus toning into the belly, drawing the navel upwards, rounding slightly into the tailbone, creating more sensation into your shoulders. Deep, long, beautiful breath. Pressing into your hands, start to really round into the tailbone, dome into the shoulders, send the weight forward. Place your hands back beneath your shoulders here. And let's take cat-cow once again. Belly sinks, tailbone lifts, chest starts to lift, crown of head lifts. Tuck everything inwards, tailbone rounds. Chin moves towards your chest. Let the crown of your head pour down. Hollow out the front body. Come to a neutral spine. Send your legs longer back and down your mat and come onto your belly. We're coming into broken wing pose from here. So you're going to take that left hand out towards the left at shoulder height, palm faces down. Take your right hand out towards the right, come up onto your fingertips, take your elbow high above your wrist, bend into your right knee, and slowly start to roll onto that left side body, landing your right foot in behind your left thigh. Let your left temple land onto the mat. Close down the eyes. Feel into the stretch. Take the focus inwards. Well, this practice is about you feeling into your body, so close down any external distractions. And feel the left side chest really start to peel open for you here as you lean back in space through that right shoulder. You can move the hand a little bit closer to the body if that allows you to put more pressure into your fingertips and let that shoulder lean back in space. You don't need permission to take any movement that allows you to find more depth in this pose or in any pose that we come into. Remember, with this practice, we're looking to move towards a place where we can maintain our sensation, but with the breath. We're looking for a deep stretch that affects our connective tissue, our fascia, our ligaments, tendons, denser tissues. And 3 more breaths here. And slowly rolling onto your front body with your last exhale on this side. We'll immediately move to the other side. So right hand comes out at shoulder height, palm faces down. Take your left fingertips to the floor, elbow stacks above the wrist. Bend into your left knee, start to roll onto your right side body. Land that left foot in behind the right thigh. Right temple can land down onto the floor. Position your hands so that the elbow's sticking up towards the ceiling, but your fingertips can press firmly into the mat to help roll that left shoulder back in space. You're looking to stretch into the front of your right chest where the arm and the chest connect to our pectoral muscles. Place your left hand wherever you need to so that you can put as much pressure as you want into your fingers, into that hand to help open through the right side. 3 more breaths. Rolling onto your front body with an exhale. Sphinx pose is our next asana. So you'll take your hands out in front of you, coming to your forearms. I'm going to take your elbows so that they are beneath your shoulders. Pressing into the palms of your hands, pressing into the tops of your feet, start to lift the back of your head, so the backs of the ears towards the ceiling. The chin stays slightly tucked here. So rather than cranking into the neck and looking forward, you're looking down towards the front edge of the mat and letting the lift come from the back of your skull towards the ceiling. The eyes can settle closed once you come into the pose so that you can really tune into the compression that you're nourishing your lower back with. And press gently into the tops of your feet and notice if you've rolled to your big toe side of your foot so that you're squeezing more into your glutes. Can you let the pinky toes have as much space on the floor or connection to the floor as the big toe? So the outer hips are actually rolling wider, causing the lower back to flatten rather than crunch. Press more into your elbows, find the lift from the back of the ears. Earlobes are finding more space away from the shoulders. And tune into your breath here, big belly breath. You feel the stomach really expand with your inhale. And as you exhale and the belly recedes, the sensation also dissipates just a little bit. And you're welcome to stay where you are, or you might press a little more into your elbows to send the hands just slightly wider than shoulder distance. Now it's the index finger that's pointing straight forward rather than all three middle fingers. And then you'll press into the hands and start to lift the elbows to elevate into seal pose. Keep drawing the shoulders, easing them down onto the back. The belly keeps ballooning with the inhale. Notice if you have lost the connection with the tops of the feet, they're just softly pressing down into the floor, helping to protect your lower back. Eyes are closed so that you can feel more into this pose. Focus the mind. Tune out external distractions. And jaw is soft. The breath is rhythmic, balanced. And one more inhale here, wherever you are, whether Sphinx or Seal. We'll slowly start to move out of the pose with our next breath out. So if you're in Seal, you'll lower the elbows down. No matter where you are, then you're going to press into your hands to send the elbows wide. Take the right hand directly beneath your face, left hand stacks on top of it, forehead comes to the tops of the hands. Allow the hips to sway side to side, nice and slow here. From here, we'll take child's pose. So you'll place your hands beneath your shoulders, press into the hands to come to your knees. Take your knees wide, big toes come together, and sink your hips towards your heels. Stretch your hands as far out in front of you as you can and take your forehead to your mat. Start to breathe here. Belly presses into the thighs, causing the back body to expand with the inhale. And as you breathe out and the belly draws in, the chest melts further forward and down towards the floor, maybe creating more space for you to draw the fingertips just a print further forward. Maybe without moving the legs, they move energetically towards the edges of your mat so you feel more into the outer hips. And perhaps you can press firmer into your forearms and into your hands, keep rolling the outer shoulders towards the outer mat and see if that doming creates more sensation into the shoulders as you breathe here. Your drishti, your gaze is so soft. And 3 more breaths. And pressing into the tops of your feet, your shins. Start to draw the weight up away from the floor, rippling it forward so the shoulders come above the wrists. Draw your knees closer in towards one another. We're going to take our right foot and land it to the outside of the right hand, so to the pinky finger side of that hand. You might want to tuck your left toe so you can lift the back knee away from the floor and settle that leg longer down your mat, further back. Toes can stay tucked or untucked, whatever feels more natural for you in your body. We're in low flying dragon here, so lizard pose. You have options with the hands and with the arms. You can either stay with the hands on the floor, elevated. This is a lot for your wrists. You might even make fists so that the knuckles come to the floor. If you'd like to take a deeper version of this pose, you might bring the floor up to you with one of your props that you have handy, pillow, bolster, blocks, taking the forearms down onto that prop. Or if you're fairly open through the front of the left hip and the outer right hip, the inner groin of that right leg, you might come all the way to the floor. And breathe into this pose. Have your chin tucked slightly towards your chest. Your eyes are closed. Soft gaze inwards. And with each inhale, there's a little bit of pressure down into either the forearms or the hands that helps you dome into the back. You press a little more into that right foot, just a really soft pressure, and into your back knee. And then a gentle hug of the thighs towards each other. And then as you breathe out, that all softens. The hips descend a tiny bit further. The chest sinks towards the mat. And then as you breathe in, a gentle pressure, ever so soft, downwards that helps you dome into the back a little bit. Hollow the belly, drawing the navel into the spine. And as you breathe out, there's a softness that occurs through the body as everything feels drawn towards the earth. And this pulsation that you are creating with the breath, it's very, very, very subtle. But it helps you to deepen into the pose, breath by breath. And with the eyes closed, you can really focus on how the breath flows through the body, how it expands and creates space with the inhale, and how the entire body welcomes in a sense of softness, of letting go, as the body lets the breath out. And the connection that you're creating with your body between the breath and the mind, it's that much deeper with the eyes closed. Focus. And 3 more breaths here. pushing more into your right foot and into your back knee. Start to float the hips away from the floor. They should feel quite sticky as you lift them slightly up and back, pressing into that right heel to shift the hips. If you're down on your elbows, you'll come back to your hands. Move your prop off and out of the way. From here, we'll start to straighten through that right leg. Shift the hips back in space. Come up onto your fingertips and flip your right toes up towards the ceiling, coming to the heel of your right foot. Start to let your heart descend down towards the mat. Just a gentle hamstring stretch here. We'll hold for 3 more breaths. Slowly sliding the heel slightly back in space. You'll land the sole of that right foot onto the floor. Move your right hand to the outside of the foot. Start to heel toe your foot off towards the left. We're coming into sleeping swan pose. So the knee will land in behind the right wrist. Foot comes in behind the left wrist. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Press the heel of the left foot further down in your mat so that the hips can settle. And keep that toe tucked, or untuck the toes so the top of the foot comes to the floor, whatever feels more natural for you in your body. If you know you like to prop up your right outer hip in sleeping swan or pigeon pose, then stick a block or blanket pillow underneath that hip to help it stay elevated. And then just gentle pressure into your right shin so you can draw the right hip slightly back in space, feeling that left hip roll forward. Take a breath in, lift the crown of your head, the backs of your ears, your chest prouder. And as you breathe out, think about extending the chest forward first. So the shoulders stay pulling onto your back body rather than rounding the chest forward. Take your forearms down to the floor. You can use one of your props to draw the mat up closer towards you. From here, press into your elbows, press into your front shin, hug your inner thighs, hollow the belly, round the chest into the shoulder blades, and then exhale. Think about your chest, your collarbones elongating forward as you settle into this pose. Eyes are closed, gaze is inwards. If you feel like this is a lot for your neck and you're really focusing on the strain in your neck, you might take a block to the floor so you can rest your forehead onto the block. Now, if you don't have a block or a prop like that handy, you can take your hands into Anjali Mudra or prayer pose, bend into the elbows, take them further out in front of you, and then the thumbs can come into just the inside of your eyebrows here so that you can balance on the thumb pad with the 4 fingers still in prayer. And if you've taken that pose, try not to jut the chin too forward. Keep it tucking slightly into the chest, taking the weight of the head into the thumbs. And breathe, deep, full breath. Three breaths. Rhythmic breath. Last breath in. Sigh your breath out. Coming from forearms to your hands. Tuck your back toes under. Press into your hands so you can start to float your hips away from the floor. Send your right foot back to meet your left foot. Take your knees onto your mat. Take the knees wide away from one another and sink your hips towards your heels. Child's pose. We'll take the hands back towards our feet this time. So the forehead comes to the floor and the heads of the shoulders round forward. Rock yourself side to side in this pose if you'd like, or if stillness feels best for you. This is your practice. Come into the other side with taking the hands back up above your head. Press into the tops of your feet. Take the weight forward. Knees come back underneath the body. Step the left foot forward to the outside of your left hand. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Take that leg longer down and back your mat. Now you're either staying up on your hands here, coming to fists to take weight out of the wrists, or you can move between those two positions with the hands if you're staying upright. Or you can use one of your props to draw the mat up to you, coming to your forearms, or coming all the way down to the floor. And once you've settled in, choosing whether you want your back toes to stay tucked or not, and perhaps you try each position to decide which is better for you before settling and making a choice. Your eyes are closed, the gaze is really, really softly inwards. Press a little bit into either your hands or your elbows, whatever is connected to the floor, rounding into the shoulders as you breathe in. Pressing into your left heel, into your back knee, and magnetizing the thighs towards one another. And as you breathe out, allowing the hips to sink, the chest to sink. Finding a gentle pulsation with your breath, very subtle. And we'll do 3 more breaths here. And pressing into your elbows to come to your hands, moving your prop out of the way. Start to shift your hips up and back, flipping the toes of the left foot to face upwards, straightening through that left leg so that you're getting a stretch into the underside of the leg, the hamstring. We're not staying here for too long. See if you can keep the hips a little lifted here and the collarbones shifting forward rather than sinking back through the hips. And slowly sliding that left heel slightly in as you bend a little bit into the knee and land the sole of the foot to the floor. Move your left hand to the outside of that foot. Begin to heel toe the foot towards the right till the foot comes in behind the wrist, at which point you'll lay the shin down onto the floor, taking the knee in behind the left wrist. If you need to tuck the back toes and lift the back knee to press out through that heel and settle the hips a little more, creating more length through the back leg, then do so now. And come to your fingertips. Keep the chin tucked. Lift from the back of the ears, the back of the head. Lift the chest. As you breathe out, begin to extend the chest forward. Forearms can come down onto the mat or onto a prop. Take a breath in, press into your elbows, press into your front shin, round into the back body, magnetize the inner thighs towards one another. As you breathe out, sink further into the pose. Now, if you used a prop on the other side, you might want to find one here as well. perhaps you already have. Often one hip can feel quite different from the other, so be honest with yourself. If it feels quite different and on one side you need a prop and the other you don't, recognize that. Come into the shape so that you're feeling a lot of sensation into your left outer hip, the external rotators and the glute. Keep just a really soft pressure into that front shin that then allows you to hug the inner thighs. Not a really forceful action, just really soft, but that allows you to feel more. And with the drishti focused, the eyes soft, the breath intentionally flowing in and out. Connection between your body, your mind, and your breath. It's strong. And it keeps the distractions at bay, the mind focused on the here and now. Three more breaths. Breathing in. Gently pour the breath out of the mouth. Press into your elbows to come to your hands. We'll sink the weight over towards the left this time. We're going to straighten through that right leg. Start to take the weight down into your seat, and then the left leg will also straighten. So you might need to take your hands back in behind you to straighten through both legs, coming into a straddle pose or wide-legged fold. But with your hands back behind you as well, you can push into your fingertips to lift the hips slightly and then press the hips further forward to widen your legs. And then another good trick is to lean the weight to one side, reach behind you to grab hold of the flesh of the upper hamstring and of the glute and just smear some of that flesh out from underneath you so that the sitting bones are more connected to the floor. And then do the same on the other side, so leaning right and just pulling and smearing some of the flesh out from underneath you. From here, we're going to take the fingertips to the floor, a little tense with the fingertips in behind us, and then lift the crown of the head, proudly lift the chest, draw the collarbones wider, shoulders onto the back. Start to press into your fingertips. Keep that nice long spine and just begin to lean forward. When you can't lean any further forward with the hands in behind the legs, you can start to widen the hands as well. Then you'll take the hands out in front of you. The hands suction to the floor and they start to pull the chest forward. Keep the spine as long as you can as you start to bend into the elbows to lower to the floor. You might need to walk the hands further out in front of you. You might be quite upright here. You're looking to, depending on your flexibility, you're really trying not to round into the back, but keep the spine nice and long as the chest lowers forward. You can use props underneath you as well to bring the floor up if that helps. And breathe. Forward folds are very obvious asanas where we can start to manipulate the pose with the breath. So inhales, there's a light pulsation or lifting out, and exhales, you descend into the space created by the inhale. Well, that very, very, very subtly, breath by breath, we move into a deeper version of the pose. Let your eyes settle closed. I know for me personally, when I practice at home and I'm looking at my carpet, I get distracted by all the little things on my carpet that I decide I need to vacuum up after my class. With the eyes closed, the mind won't wander in these ways. The focus is maintained inwards. There's less distraction. It's so beneficial for our minds to settle into this stillness. It's curious as to why the minds resist it and like to chatter and bounce from thought to thought. Three more breaths, leaning forward. Stay for the entirety of your third exhale. Beginning to inhale, start to lift the chest. Walk the hands back in towards you. Take your hands to your thighs and pause here. Eyes are closed down. We'll breathe in. Take the back of your head slightly further back in space. Sit up even taller. Breathe out. Let the breath go. With your next inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. You might like to flutter your eyes open just so you can check out what we're doing here. You don't need to if you can follow along simply by my voice. You're going to take the right hand down towards the right shin or knee, wherever the hand lands. Start to look up towards your left hand and then slowly start to bend into that right elbow a little or a lot as you reach the left arm towards the right toe. We'll take a big breath in, lift the left arm back towards the ceiling, and as you breathe out, reach the left hand towards the right toes. We'll do that one more time, breathing in, reach the left arm towards the ceiling, keep grounding into your left sitting bone, press into your left heel as you reach the fingers towards the right toe. The right hand can even come down to the floor inside your right shin here, so you can press into the hand and start to spin the chest and the ribs more forward on the right side body. And then we'll start to play with rounding through the chest as we did in the beginning of class. So with the breath in, think about lifting the left armpit more towards the ceiling, shifting that left thumb back in space. And then as you exhale, you're going to start to roll your chest down and towards the right. Keep reaching through those left fingertips as far as you can. And then we'll breathe in, press more into that right hand. So start to roll the chest open, lifting the left armpit towards the ceiling, shifting the thumb slightly further back behind you, and then exhaling to round and roll the chest towards that right leg, towards the floor. We'll do one more big breath in, open the chest forward, and then up towards the ceiling, shift the thumb slightly back in space, and exhale to round the chest towards the floor. Beautiful. And inhale, round so that the chest is facing forward. Lift the left hand towards the ceiling. Take the left hand down towards the left thigh. Breathe in, sit up nice and tall. Roll your shoulders towards your ears. Breathe out, squeeze the shoulder blades onto the back. Nestle your elbows in towards your side waist. We're breathing in to take the arms back up towards the ceiling. We're coming to the other side, so left hand comes towards the left shin, left knee, left leg. Right arm reaches high. As you breathe out, start to reach your right fingertips towards your right toes. Inhale, take the right arm back up towards the ceiling. Look up. Exhale, keep rounding through right sitting bone. Reach your fingertips towards your toes. One more time, big breath in. And breath out. We'll breathe in, reach the right hand up. As you breathe out, the right hand reaches towards the left toes. We're going to open the chest towards the ceiling, the armpit towards the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, start to roll so that the chest comes to face that left leg towards the floor. Inhale, start to open the chest, lift the armpit, take the hands slightly further back in space, and exhale to roll the chest towards that left leg. We'll do one more, breathing in and breathing out. And inhaling, we'll roll the chest open. Reach both hands up towards the ceiling. Take both hands down towards the side. Close down the eyes, big breath in. And breath out. We'll reach the arms back up towards the ceiling. We'll come into a side bend and hold here. So the right hand's going to come down towards the right leg, where the forearm comes to the inside of that leg. Left arm reaches up nice and high. They'll reach the thumb slightly further back in space, and then start to press into that right hand just gently so that you can ground through the left sitting bone and begin to reach the left fingertips as far as you can towards your right toes. It might mean that you need to crawl the right hand and arm further away from you. So left or right elbow pressing into the inside of the leg can help to roll the lower chest forward and the upper chest more towards the ceiling. And breathe. The gaze can either come up towards the ceiling, or if this is a lot for your neck, you're looking forward or down towards your right leg. Optionally, wherever you are with the head, the eyes can be closed. Gaze inward. Let's take 3 more breaths. Completely breathe out. Press into your right arm, reach that left arm up towards the ceiling, right arm reaches up as well. We'll come to the other side, left hand reaches down the left leg, right arm reaches high, flip the palm towards the left toes, start to bend into that left elbow. As you reach the right arm over towards the left hand can come to the inside of the left foot, start to spin the chest forward, opening through the right armpit, reaching as far as you can and holding. If you need to create the right hand further away from the body to help with the descent of the side body towards that left leg. Three more breaths. Completely breathe out. Right arm reaches back up towards the ceiling, left arm follows. Hands draw down towards the thighs. Take the hands underneath the knees. Just slowly start to draw and slide the heels in towards the body. Take the soles of your feet onto the mat. Wrap your forearms around the tops of the knees, grabbing hold of opposite elbows with the hands, and then tuck your chin. Take your forehead towards the knees and just really round into the back. Put pressure into your feet here and hollow out your belly. Should feel really nice into your shoulders. It's as though you're trying to fall back in space, but the arms wrapped around the knees are keeping you upright. Slowly start to lift the head, lift the chest, take the hands to the mat, spin yourself around so that you're on the mat as you come to lay onto your back body. Hug your knees in towards your chest, wrap your forearms around your legs, squeeze them in nice and tight. You'll clasp your hands on top of your right knee, shoot your left foot straight up towards the ceiling. Flex the toes, so spread them nice and far away from one another and press up through the ball of the foot. Make that leg nice and firm and strong. Breathe in, squeeze that right knee a little closer towards the chest, and as you breathe out, slowly lower the left heel forward and then down. We'll breathe in, draw the knee back towards the chest, shoot the foot up towards the ceiling at the top of that breath, spread the toes. As you exhale, straighten through that leg. Inhaling, knee draws towards your chest. We'll do that one more time. Foot presses up towards the ceiling. Exhale, straighten through the leg, lower the heel to hover. And let the heel land. Right hand reaches out towards the right. Sole of left or right foot presses forward until the knee stacks above the hip. And then press into your left heel. Simultaneously, as you start to draw that right leg up and over towards the left, you press into the heel and shift the hip slightly right, so that the right hip can stack on top of the left as you slowly roll into the twist. Gaze is either towards the ceiling or your chin moves towards your right shoulder so that you're gazing down the arm. And a further option here for you, if you're looking to go deeper, is to come into a bind. We're grabbing hold of the big toe side of your foot. You'll start to kick the foot into that left hand. If you're doing so, think about scooping that right outer hip down towards the left big toe. Keep grounded through your right shoulder no matter where you are in this twist. It might help to put a little bit of pressure down into your left elbow to do so. Eyes are closed here. Feel into the body. And if you found the leg long or taken the leg long, you'll bend into the knee, release the foot, release the twist. So the right foot will land onto the floor. Press into that foot so you can lift your hips and recenter them. Draw your left knee towards your chest. Clasp your hands above that knee. Take the sole of your right foot directly up towards the ceiling. Make that leg really strong and firm. Spread the toes nice and wide. Squeeze the left knee in towards the chest, tight. Breathe in. As you breathe out, stay strong through the right leg as you slowly begin to reach the foot forward and draw the heel to hover. Inhale, keep squeezing the left knee to the chest as the right knee lifts upwards and the sole of the foot presses towards the ceiling. Exhale, leg is nice and strong and firm as you lower your heel to hover. Breathe in, draw your right knee towards your chest. Keep pressing left knee into the hands as that right foot lifts to the ceiling. Last time, exhale, lower that left heel towards the floor. From here, the heel lands. Take the left hand out towards the left. Press the sole of your foot forward until the knee stacks above the hip. Press into your right heel as you start to roll the left knee off towards the right. Lift the hips, shift them slightly towards the left so that the top hip can stack on top of the right hip. And find a nice juicy twist. Grounding through the left shoulder blade, reaching out towards the left. If you're taking the bind, you'll start to straighten through that, or take the sole of the left foot, big toe side of the foot into the right hand, and begin to kick the foot into the hand. Think about making more length through the right or left side body if you do so, scooping the left outer hip down towards your right big toe. Just a little bit of pressure into that right elbow can keep the left shoulder grounded. Perhaps you roll your chin towards the left, taking the twist into the entire spine. If you found the bind with the left leg straight, you'll start to bend into the knee. We'll come out of the twist, landing the sole of the left foot onto the floor. Press into the foot to lift the hips. Recenter them onto your mat. Take the sole of the right foot to the floor, bending into your right knee. Take your hands down by your sides, palms facing up, and then just widen them slightly so they're off of your mat onto your floor. Bring the big toes together. Begin to widen your knees. Bottoms of the feet come to touch. Pinky toe edge of the foot is on the floor. Knees are wide. Close down your eyes. Lengthen the crown of your head towards the upper edge of your mat, tucking your chin slightly. Breathe in deeply and out the mouth. Another breath in and out. And a breath in. Completely breathe out the mouth. One leg will straighten, followed by the other. Let the breath return to its normal cadence without control. Let your jaw be head soft. Release any tension in the forehead and the temples. The eyes sink into their sockets. And allow the cheeks to slide down the sides of the face. The tongue nestles into the base of the mouth. The jaw is slack. Allow the front plane of your body to feel as though it is sinking into the back plane of your body, which is melting into the floor. Feel the gravitational pull of the earth. Feel supported by the floor beneath you. Feel the entire body vibrating and radiating with energy, which is electric in the tips of your fingers, and humming in your muscles and in your joints. Be mesmerized by the rhythm of your heartbeat. Give yourself permission to stay here for as long as you need this evening. This is the most important pose of any practice, where the body absorbs and integrates the benefits of movement, of stretching, of breathing with intention. The longer you can stay here this evening, the better. And here I will leave you. When you are ready to move, do so slowly and mindfully. May you maintain this really humble quality that you've cultivated throughout your practice. This heaviness that allows us to feel grounded, especially on days like today where it rains and is stormy. Such a beautiful way to spend an evening, is feeling connected to ourselves, grounded. As always, it's been my pleasure to guide you through your practice of movement, of breath. Please enjoy your Saturdays and join me on Tuesday for some more movement, or next Saturday for another session of slowing down and breathing. Namaste.